Very good morning to one and all. Today I am going to explain the module number 3. In this module, we see the various 2G technologies. The most popular 2G technology around the world is GSM, Global System for Mobile Communication. In this lecture, we first introduce the concept, the GSM network architecture, and before going to this lecture, we take a review of previous lecture. In previous lecture number 17, we introduced the concept of OFDMA, then advantage, disadvantage of the OFDMA, and how by using orthogonal frequency division multiplexing or multiple access technology to increase or to get the higher data rates for 4G and 5G technologies. In last module number 2, we introduced the large scale fading, small scale fading, mobile radio propagation models, then various multiple conventional ASIC technique. So let us begin. The today's session outline: the GSM introduction, GSM services, then mostly GSM architecture, then security in GSM, and characteristics of GSM standard, and advantages of GSM and futures of a GSM. So what is meant by GSM? GSM stands for Global System for Mobile. It is a second generation cellular standard developed to cater the voice services and data delivery by using digital modulation techniques. It is also developed to solve the fragmentation problem in first cellular system in European countries. GSM was first cellular system to specify the digital modulation technique. So remember, GSM is the first modulation technique which use the digital modulation technique and use the network level architecture. And services. The most popular 2G technology before GSM in European countries use different cellular standard throughout the country. It was not possible for a customer to use a single subscriber unit throughout the European countries. So GSM was originally to develop the pan-European cellular system to promise the wide range of network services. So mostly whenever before the GSM evolution of the GSM, the most of the European countries use the different cellular system. Whenever a subscriber is moves from one country to another country, that time the network service provider is not capable to provide the network throughout in European countries as a single slot or single module. So that to solve this problem, we use the concept of GSM. So it provides a wide range of network services and use the ISDN service. GSM success exceed the expectation virtually every and world most popular standard in new cellular radio personal communication equipment throughout the world. In 2001, there are the over 350 million users of GSM subscriber in worldwide. So this is about all the GSM. Now we see the history of GSM. First, GSM is known as a groupie of Spatial Mobile up to founded in 1982, which is developed by CPT that is Conference of European Post and Telecommunication. Under European Technical Standard Institute, that is ETSI stand for European Technical Standard Institute, GSM named as Global System for Mobile Communication in 1989. The full set of specification was launched available in 1990. The phase of 2 of GSM specification occurred in 1995, which coverage extended up to rural areas. The mass specification common mobile communication, which is European standard, the operating frequency is 900 MHz. That is when first is launched in 1982, that is commonly known as Group E Special Mobile. So this term must be remembered while asking in MCQ or in exam or any objective diagram or group discussion. So to be remembered. So what are the penetration of GSM in world? So we can see the statistical analysis in graphical view. There is a mostly in North America, then Asia, Arab world. So mostly 43% the GSM will be most popular in European countries, then mostly in East Asian Pacific region. So if you observe, this is the statistical analysis of GSM. And what is the percentage of in India? What are the different companies to present? So mostly the GSM service provided is BSNL in India. Then second one is Bharti and Airtel, all these things. So if you observe the statistical analysis, the most popular technology in 2G is GSM, which is mostly suitable for the voice communication. So what are the services offered by the GSM? GSM service follows the ISDN guidelines, and they classified the services either teleservice, bearer or data service or supplementary service. So we can see one by one. First one is a teleservice. In telecommunication service that enable the voice communication via mobile phones, that is called as a teleservice. Offer services by the teleservice, mobile telephony and emergency calling. Then bearer service. Bearer service, or we can say the data service, including various data service of information transfer between GSM to other network like public switch telephone network, ISDN network at a data rate of 300 to 9600 bits per second. Another most popular remarkable bearer service which is provided, that is short message service, that is commonly known as SMS. The up to 160 characteristic alphanumeric data transmission to from mobile terminal can be transmitted, and while mailbox is also provided in bearer services or data services. Then supplementary services. These services are related to the call related services, call waiting, notification of incoming call while on handset, then call hold, the put on caller on hold to take the another call varying services, all calls, outgoing calls, incoming calls, notification is provided, then call forwarding, also calls can be sent by various number defined by the user, and multi-party call conferencing means conference call is provided by this supplementary services, link multiple calls together. So that type of services will be provided in GSM. Then most popular GSM architecture, which is taken from the Rappaport book. So that is GSys1. So GSM architecture basically consists of majorly connected subsystem interconnected between themselves. First one is the base station subsystem, network switching subsystem, and operation support subsystem, also mobile station subsystem. So there are the basically GSM architecture is consist of 4 subsystem, mobile station subsystem, base station subsystem, network switching subsystem, and operation support subsystem. So we can see one by one. In most of the exam ask the GSM interface. So there are the various interfaces which is used. The GSM standard air interface between mobile station to the base transceiver station. ABIS interface between which is a standardized between the BTS to BSC. BSC stand for base station controller. Then A interface which is standardized between the BSC to the MSC. MSC stand for the mobile switching center, that is mobile switching telephone office also called as. Then MSC to the another network like public switch telephone network, the signaling interface SS7, that is SS7 is another interface which is not standardized. So this block diagram is taken from the Rapport book. So most exam point of view this diagram must be remembered. Then briefly we introduce the GSM architecture. So mobile station is consist of subscriber identity module and mobile equipment, and this is connected by standard GSM radio interface. Then BTS, then base station subsystem consists of base transceiver station, base station controller. There are the two elements of base station subsystem. Then network switching subsystem which consists of MNC and various the HLR, VLR, EIR and EUC, where HLR home location register, VLR for the visit location register, equipment identify register, authentication center. These are the elements of network switching subsystem. And operation and maintenance support system is consist of only OMC, which is C. This is the OMC part, which is a fourth subsystem of GSM system architecture. Then another network is consist of public switch telephone network, ISDN, then PSPDN, CSPDN. So these are the which is outside the network, which is connected to this. Then we go to the mobile station subsystem. First it consists of two elements, mobile equipment and subscriber identity module. Then base station subsystem, the base transceiver station and base station controller. There are the two elements of base station subsystem. Then network switching subsystem, that is mobile switching center, home location register, visit location register, authentication center and equipment identity register. So we see one by one. So in system architecture, first subsystem is mobile station subsystem, which consists of two main entities, mobile station equipment and subscriber identity module. So what is meant by mobile equipment? A portable vehicle mounted handheld device uniquely identify IMEI number. IMEI stands for the International Mobile Equipment Identity, and it is given by the manufacturer and under the International Telecommunication Union. Mostly the mobile equipment transmit the voice and data transmission, monitoring the power, signal quality of the surrounding cell and optimum handover, and power level for the mobile equipment is from 0.8 watt to 20 watt, and it provides the service like SMS up to 160 character long. Then subscriber identity module. Smart card contains the International Mobile Subscriber Identity, that is IMSI, which is provided by the network service provider, allow the user to send and receive the call or receive another subscriber service, protected by password, which is a PIN, that is called a personal identification number, and it is a 4 to 6 digit, can be moved from one phone to another phone, contains key information to activate the phone. Then we provide second subsystem, that is base station subsystem, which consists of two main entities, and the base station subsystem is completely consists of two parts, that is communicate across the standardized ABIS interface, allowing the operation between components made by the different suppliers. So base trans receiver station, that is the first element of BSS, and second element of BSS, that is base station controller, and BSS stands for the base station subsystem. So first we see what is meant by base transceiver station and what other functions are provided by the base transceiver station. Encoding, encrypts it, multiplexing, modulates, feed the RF signal to the antenna, then communicates with the mobile station, and the base station controller consists of transceiver units. Then base station controller. The main functions of base station controller: manage the radio resources of BTS, assign the frequency and time slot for all mobile stations in its area, handles the call setup, carry out the handover procedure from each mobile station. It communicates with MSC and BTS. Then we go to the third subsystem part, that is network switching subsystem. The main elements of network subsystem, that is mobile switching center, which is the heart of the GSM. Then home location register, visit location register, authentication center, and equipment identifier register. So first we see what is meant by mobile switching center. Mobile switching center, which already seen that it is the heart of the GSM network. Manage and communication between the GSM and another networks, billing information and collection, mobility management, registration, location updating, and inter-BSS and inter-MSC call handoff will be handled by the mobile switching center. These are all functions of MSC. Then home location register. What is meant by home location register? Home location register is about store the information about each subscriber that belongs to the MSC in permanent or temporary fashion. As soon as the mobile subscriber leaves its current local area and information in the HLR is updated. HLR stands for the home location register. Which type of data will be contained in home location register for the subscriber? Database contains in terms of IMSI, means International Mobile Subscriber Identity, which is given by the International Telecommunication Union. Then mobile station international subscriber directory number. For example, each country is carried out by unique code. For example, India is 91. So this is the mobile station international subscriber directory number, which is provided by. Then prepaid and postpaid. Then roaming and restriction and supplementary services, which is provided by the home location register. All this data will be contained in home location register. Then address of the subscriber is also contained. All these things are contained in this. Then visit location register. So visit location register, we can say that it is a temporary database which updates whether the new mobile station enters its area by HLR database. Assign the temporary mobile station identity, and each mobile station entering in the visit location register, which keeps the changing. The control those mobiles roaming in its area provides the database. It contains international mobile subscriber identity, mobile station international subscriber identity, digital number, and location, area, and authentication keys. So all this contains in visit location registers. Then authentication center. It contains algorithm for the authentication as well as the key for the encryption, protect the network operator from fraud, situated in special protected part of the HLR. Then equipment identifier register store the all device identification registration for this network. Database is used track the handset by using IMEI number, and it is provided by the manufacturer, International Mobile Equipment Identity Number. It helps whenever your mobile or subscriber mobile is stolen, unauthorized or defective mobile device, and prevent the call from stolen, unauthorized and defective service. That type whenever provided or your mobile will be stolen, that time by tracking by the IMEI number. Then operation maintenance center, that is a part of your OSS operation support subsystem, which is a fourth basic element of GSM system architecture. It is the centralized operation of various units in the system and function needed to maintain the subsystem. Means monitoring all is carried out by the OMC. Then dynamic monitoring and controlling of the network. So what are the functions which is provided by the OMC? So configuration management, fault report, alarm handling, performance, supervision or management and storage of the software and data. All these things are carried out by the operation support system. Also it carried out the more functions. First one is to maintain the all telecommunication hardware and network operation with the particular market, manage all charging, billing and procedure, manage all the mobile equipment in the system. So it is a monitoring performance operation is carried out by the operation and maintenance center. Then security in GSM. So security in GSM provided in terms of on air interface by using GSM encryption and temporary mobile subscriber identity instead of the international mobile subscriber identity. Subscriber identity module provide a 4 to 8 digit personal identification number which is validated by the ownership of a subscriber identity module, and 3 algorithm is specified for the security purpose in GSM, that is A3 algorithm for the authentication, A5 algorithm for the encryption and A8 algorithm for the key generations. Then what are the characteristics of GSM standard? Fully digital system using 1800 MHz frequency bands, use terminal and authentication to fraud control, full international roaming capability, low speed data service up to 9.6 kbps, compatibility with the ISDN and support the SMS. So these are the some characteristics of the GSM. So what are the advantages of GSM over an analog system? That is, first one is a reduce the RF transmission power and longer battery life, international roaming capability, better security against the fraud through terminal validation and user authentication, encryption capability for the information security and privacy is more. So these are the some advantages of GSM over an analog system. Then GSM applications, mobile telephony, GSM radio terminals, telemetry system, fleet management, automatic meter reading, toll collection, remote control and fault reporting, DigiSets and value added services. So this is about the GSM applications. So what are the features of GSM? Second generation technology, GSM has data rate 9.6 kbps. 2.5 generation of GSM, that is HSCCSD, high speed circuit switching data up to data rate 7.68 kbps to 9.6 into 8 kbps. Then GPRS, general packet radio services, data rate 14.4 to 115.2 kbps. Then edge enhancement data rate for GSM evolution, data rate 547 2 kbps maximum. Then third generation is WCDMA, wide band code division multiple access, at a data rate from 0.348 to 2.0 Mbps. So this is the future scope. After GSM, evolution will be happen. So in this lecture, we introduce the basic concept of GSM, history of GSM, security of the GSM, then network architecture of a GSM, then security specification of the GSM, and characteristics of the GSM, advantages of the GSM, and future scope of the GSM and application of the GSM. So we can stop here. Thank you.